Let's get this show on the road. Darren, a few days on from Eastleigh, have you had time to look at that game again and what needs to be done this weekend to put things right?
Take some chances.
As simple as that.
Got to score. You want to win games, you got to score goals. It's. I think that if from a coaching perspective, there's a lot of teaching that has to be done on a daily basis at the minute because of players coming in and out of the team, new players arriving, players being injured, suspended. So there's a lot. The one thing that I expect is the four forwards in Dagnall, Reid, Murphy, Quigley. I don't expect to have to worry about that department based on the fact that the experience and the quality we have in that department. It shouldn't be a focus of my attention. The centre forwards have got to score goals. It's like when the goalkeeper, if he's not making saves, he's not a very good goalkeeper. So it's I think that we've got to make more chances. We've got to make cleaner chances. You look at the two games, not a lot of chances in either game. Stockport probably made the most in the two games, but the pitches are, chaps, I can't tell you how bad the pitches are. That they are horrendous. I mean, Yeovil would have travelled to Newport at times, and that was always the worst pitch that I had in the league. The pitch Tuesday night was worse than anything I've ever seen. So it made it look really uncomfortable for the players to control it and pass it properly, and it was really, really difficult. It was hard on top. It was soft when you kind of twisted. It was near enough impossible to keep your feet, and we struggled because of that. But what I thought we did, I thought we played efficiently first half, and I thought we made enough chances, and I thought we let Eastleigh off the hook.
You mentioned the strikers there. You went with pace and power against Eastleigh in the form of Rhys Murphy and Ruben Reid. Will you go with that combination again, or do you rotate the strike partnership on what fits the game?
Yeah, well, I think we've got good quality there, and your latter comment of what fits the game is absolutely right. I'm only interested in winning games. I'm not interested in individual ego. I'm not interested. I think Ruben has brought a whole new dynamic to the team. I think the players are still adjusting to his qualities. Ruben has, like any forward, has got to start scoring goals because that's what they're there for. But he brings such a level of quality back to goal, and I thought first half, I thought he was magnificent first half, absolutely brilliant. To deal with the ball on that pitch and to deal with the pressure that comes from behind him, I thought he was excellent, and his work ethic's excellent. And Ruben hasn't played enough games this season really to be fully fit, so we're still looking after him. I didn't take him off because I wanted to take him off. I took him off because I don't want to ride him as such and he break. But I expect Murphy, Quigley, Dagnall as a three, to have too much for them teams. I do. I think everyone does, and they're our expectations, and I'm sure they're the players' expectations. They've got good confidence levels, they've got good belief in themselves. I thought Joe needed to come out Tuesday. I thought he needed to come out. I just felt he played with a real burden on Saturday, overthinking his role, and I thought he needed to come out and have a breather. But he's definitely in contention. Which pair I go with, I don't know, because for us every day is a delicate day. It's training because we train hard and we train properly, and you never know what's going to come out of an injury or another suspension. But
Yeah, just briefly on injuries, Charlie Lee, we spoke on Tuesday and you said that Charlie Lee went off with a slight knock. How is he doing?
He's like Charlie, he bounces in, he's not right. We're going to scan him today, so we should have the results first thing tomorrow. And then we'll go off what Charlie feels, but I'm a little bit cautious with that because we can't have players that are fit, not fit. They're fit before the game, and then something happens during the game that we knew may have been a problem beforehand. We've got to be professional. Charlie's a huge player for us. Thought he was excellent first half. And then his calf was a problem for him second half, but again that pitch was an absolute disaster. I mean, wow, it was like playing on a car park. It was like playing on a car park with gravel on. It was horrible.
And the rest of the squad, are they all fighting fit for Saturday?
Aside from of the obvious injuries, yeah, we're definitely fighting fit. We're definitely fighting.
That's good news. We also spoke, well, I've said already, we've spoken after the game about you being sent from the touchline. Have there been any repercussions to that?
No, I've not. We've not been informed as of yet. I'm a little bit, because of that, I'm a little bit, I don't really want to speak about it. I've spoke about it after the game, quite rightly so, because people would want to know. It's my duty to convey that message, but I don't really want to speak about it. I just, I did what I do every game, and this game seems to have a different outcome to the others.
We'll move on to Altrincham then.
Good man, good decision.
Altrincham, they're going to be a stern test for your team this weekend, aren't they? They've only lost once in 2021, and a victory over Torquay in that time too.
No, they're a good side. I mean, obviously we see a lot of teams in our division that are part-time and full-time, and Altrincham don't play like a part-time team. They don't. I don't consider them a part-time team with the performances they put in. They play like they train every day. So they're a good side, and I've been very impressed watching them. So it'll be tough for us. It'll be tough for us Saturday because we're on the back of 2 defeats. After picking up some good momentum, we're on the back of 2 defeats. They've got good momentum. They're in a great position in the league, which is absolute full and utter respect and commendation to the players and the staff for getting themselves in that. They're probably the one promoted team that have really come in with momentum and carried that on. And you have to hold your hands up and be respectful and commend them for the work they've done. So it'll be a really tough game. They deserve to be where they are, definitely.
Just finally from me on Altrincham, does their form come as a shock to you then?
Well, no, but what you do is when you watch games, you kind of get a bit of a you start making sort of I'm looking for the word biases against part-time and full-time, and sometimes part-time teams do some things in a way or moments in the game in a way that are to equal out the full-time training against the part-time training, but Altrincham don't do it like that. They don't do it like that. They play like a proper team, like a proper club.
Well, Darren, good luck on Saturday, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, mate.
Morning, Darren.
Afternoon, Aid.
Yeah, you right?
yeah, I'm okay, mate.
2 defeats is, as you just mentioned, the word momentum, and it's certainly knocked the momentum a little bit.
Yeah.
But it would appear from what you've been telling us that the teams have been, they've been playing well. So
well,
it was bad luck, but
Well, we're in the games. At 1-0, we're in the games. We've always been in the game. We had chances at Stockport. We definitely had chances at Eastleigh. We're definitely the better side for 45 minutes. And I said to Terry after 10 minutes, I said, this is going to be a 1-goal game. This is going to be whoever scores the first goal, shut the shop, and see it out. Because, however many chances we haven't taken them in both the games, and that's and that's something we need to address. But Eastleigh had 3 shots, all from 20 yards plus, the closest being the goal, where we had 3 players engaging the ball, and the ball creeps through legs and underhands and things like that. So we're not giving too much away, and we need to retain that. A lot of the time when you go through periods where, when I say periods, we've gone through 2 games, it's very unlike my teams, and it was the reason behind our poor start where we've not scored goals, is that a lot of teams go away and they hammer working on creating chances. And what you end up doing then is creating another problem defensively out the back of it. So we've got to make sure we stay balanced. We know we're in the 2 games. We know the margins were very, very tight in both the games, and they can go either way. Last year they went our way. This year, so far they've seemed to not go our way. That's life. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep running. We're going to keep tackling. We're going to keep competing, because when you play for Yeovil, you've got to roll up your sleeves and you've got to fight. And I think that's the biggest quality that we want to keep developing, is that real winning mentality and that fighting spirit.
You brought a new player in, Billy Sass Davis. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
I didn't know a great deal about him. You know, we had a very small window to recruit a central defender after Lee was sent off, and we had to act quick. So Billy was as blind as I've really signed in my time. But I spoke to the manager at Crewe, who I've known for a fair few years, and he was very, very positive about Billy. And we didn't do much in terms of training on Monday because of the game Saturday and the travel and the loading and things like that. But I didn't even see too much on Monday. But I thought he coped really well Tuesday night. And I've got to say, at the back of that performance, I thought the two centre halves were good. Both young, both don't know each other, both never played together. I thought they played really well. And Tyrone Barnett and Ben House, that's a difficult pair to play with, as we found out at home. Staunton and Wilkinson will know that for sure. And I thought they coped really, really well. But we got to see more from them. We're at home Saturday. As bad as I thought our pitch was, blimey, it looks like a carpet in comparison to some of these pitches we're playing on. So we've got to pass the ball better from the back. And our defensive players have certainly got to now take on a responsibility of serving our midfield players and trying to be a little bit more productive. So big test again for him Saturday, and a big test for Hunt again Saturday. But no, I was really pleased. You've got to take your hat off to young people when they come in like that, in that situation, that environment, and they stand up, and he stood up and to be counted. And first half he put in an unbelievable header, ball coming in from a wide free kick, incredible header, really brave.
Presumably the bad weather isn't exactly helping the pitch conditions, though, is it? I mean, it's been pretty bad generally.
Well, I've 18, 19 games into a season. I know the season started late, so the seasonal growth of a pitch is different, but some of them are really bad. I mean, really bad. Stockport was really bad. By Simon's own admission, it was really bad. But that pitch was. I mean, I spoke to Charlie Lee when he arrived today. I said, Charlie, to me that was like a Newport pitch. And even Charlie said, that's the worst pitch I've ever played on in 15 years.
Right.
It was a bad pitch.
Right.
And look, let's no one could have played on that. Eastleigh didn't pass it. No chance did they pass it. Not a chance in hell. So it is. It was very hard. It was very hard to get the ball settled in a position where you could be, technical and you could be productive. Really, really difficult, and you could see that in the play because we were direct. If I knew the pitch was going to be as bad as it was, maybe I'd have used different players, because there was certainly never going to be any construction from deep areas of the pitch. I mean, blimey, it was. I mean, when that ball went back to Adam Smith and and it jumped up and he shanked it, and then the ball was spinning so bad when it hit their forward, it went straight back to Adam Smith. I mean, it was like wow, this is really surreal. So but look, our pitch is better. I'd like to think we can have a little bit more trust in the lie of the ball, and as long as we don't get some really adverse conditions in the next couple of days, we're good to go and try and play a little bit more constructively.
On the plus side, Albie Skendy got the Player of the Month, which is a tribute to him, but in essence also a tribute to the team, because he's part of the team. You must have been pleased with that.
Yeah, I think absolutely. We did a release. It's always a nice moment when I was asked to nominate a player, and I nominated Albie for his goals and his performances. It's always a nice moment to be in a position where you can say that honestly, that you feel like we've got a player that's made a huge contribution in the calendar month. So I was really pleased. Someone like Albie, he's got that Roy the Rovers kind of story about him, isn't he? So, but with Albie, he's going through. This is a bigger transition right now for Albie than maybe coming out of Stratford last year and being. I think he made 20 starts last year, because now he's expected to be the man or one of the men every week. He's gone from being a kind of a utility to a starter. You've got to play, you've got to carry this team forward, you're part of the best starting 11. and you've got to be that guy every week if you're going to make an improved living out of the game. So I think with Albs, he's going to find these peaks and these troughs, and it's really important that we manage him accordingly to try and keep his performance level as high as possible. What I've tried not to do this year is move him about as much, even though early on we had to. In the last couple of months, we tried to be quite consistent with Albie in terms of his tactical position, because I think it's a lot just to be considered as one of the starters and one of the players that have got to try and carry this team forward. It's also a lot to be moving into different positions and being given lots of different information about how to play that position as well as possible. So we've tried to streamline what we're doing with him, and we're still in transition with him. He's had a fairly accelerated ascent to his role in the team, and you got to bear with these lads. You got to bear with them.
And by your own admission, Ruben Reid is beginning to make his presence felt in a big way. Another asset, really, when you've got three strikers like Quigley, Reid and Murphy.
And Dagnall. Dagnall's a brilliant professional. Brilliant. I mean, people don't get to see what I can every day, but a brilliant character, brilliant influence on the team, very strong and resilient character. But listen, Ruben made his presence felt from day one. That's Ruben's character. He's a big character. I remember at Weymouth on his debut, about 10 minutes in, I don't think Dickinson gave him the ball how he liked it, and he ran halfway across the field to tell him. So Ruben's personality's been here from moment one. Ruben, by his own admission, needs a goal. He's a centre forward. He needs a goal. He had a good chance second half where he couldn't really, where the lie of the ball again, didn't really fall for him. And he had a chance on the penalty spot first half. So he's had a couple of chances, I would say, in all of the games aside from Stockport where we didn't give him anything. And he needs that first goal. It doesn't matter how old you get, how experienced you get as a forward. You need that first goal. So what he has done, he's given us a platform to play off of, in the same way Mark Richards did at the back end of last year. And we've had to, we've now got to cater for his qualities. No point putting Ruben Reid in and smashing it in behind the fullback, because he ain't going to beat anyone in a race. He's going to work hard. I think his work ethic's been excellent, but you've got to give him the ball to his feet with good quality, and then players have got to know that when the ball is travelling into Ruben, that certain things are going to happen. So. When I counted the other day, we're massively a team in transition. I think we got 7 new players in the starting 11 from last year. Incredible after signing, a lot of what we had last year. That we've had to go through that, but it's not an excuse. We got to start. We got to get back to winning games. We've got to start taking those chances. We've got to start scoring 2s and 3s, which is normally my teams, and getting points on the board.
Good luck tomorrow, Saturday, Darren, and hopefully you do get 3 points on the board.
Good man. Tied.
Thanks, Darren.
How you doing, Darren? You okay?
Yeah, good mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Just going back to Ruben, after the Stockport game, he mentioned that the team makes too many silly fouls. And I was looking at the fair play table. You were bottom last season, you're bottom this season. Does that lack of perceived discipline cost you in games at times?
Yes, absolutely. You flip it the other way, and you be top of the fair play table, and people say you don't compete. We're not a nasty side. You look at the red cards we've had. I think Wilkinson was a red card at Dagenham for a professional foul, and Collins the other day. I think they're the only 2 reds. I think they're the only 2 reds. They're not. I know Collos was a little bit very cynical, but they're not dangerous. But we are. Listen, I'm a manager that wants people to tackle. I want them to tackle. I want them to show fight. Boxers don't go in and just throw a jab or fight. They go in and they throw big punches and to win the game. And we got to tackle. And we got a lot of young lads who are still going through that process of learning when and how. And when's a good time. Worthington's got so much better at it. So much better at it in my 18 months. Knowles and Nerfield are going through that process now, where they're learning how and when to pinch it. They've got great pace. They get there quicker than anyone. which is a real asset, and then they've got to learn about timing and technique of tackling. But that comes from practice. It doesn't come from a coaching book. It doesn't come from pictures. It doesn't come from analysis. It comes from practice. So we want them to do that, and I want them to tackle. And my teams have always been aggressive, and they've always been aggressive because I want to play the game aggressively. I don't want to sit off teams. The Stockport manager I've known for years, he said to me straight after the game, he said, "You don't know how to sit off anyone, do you?" I went, "No, I don't. I don't see it. I see it as cowardly. That's how I see it, because my personality says, come on, let's go and take the ball, let's go and take the game, let's go and fight for the game." And they're doing that. And whilst we're doing that, we're going to pick up bookings. Some of the bookings are ridiculous, by the way, but that's what we're going to do. So I'd rather they fight. I'd rather have to go through a few, tough periods where we have maybe a few suspensions. At least they're tackling. I took over a club that were relegated, that never put a tackle in. But now we're tackling. People are saying it's ill discipline. Well, no, not people. You are saying it's ill discipline. So
I said perceived ill discipline.
we can always, me and you can always have a tackle. We'll get a ball out.
I don't think I'll survive very well.
No, you wouldn't survive.
And then obviously you played 2 games this week. You've got 2 games next week. How's the squad coping with the run of games?
Well, tough because of all the stops we've had. We've had a lot of stops, so you've got to try and find fitness. That normally means people break, which has been quite consistent this year with injury, but we got to manage it. Everyone's the same. Everyone's going to have breaks. Everyone's going to have these periods, and we've got to run through them. There's no point whinging and whining. I've whinged and whined enough this year. We got to run through the problem. We've got to work through the problem, and we'll come out the other side. 100% we'll come out the other side.
That's it for me. Good luck Saturday, Darren.
Thanks, mate.